Hello, ladies.
I have completely forgotten that I was going to film this video. Also, I had an idea and I already decided what I was gonna talk about, and then I just forgot about it. And because of that, I'm gonna have a new video pretty soon, which is Vogue covers. Girlfriend, stop! Get back in the car! We're gonna talk about that next. Top 10 videos of 2022. I have realized that I actually don't watch a lot of videos for my own enjoyment, or a lot of media in general for my own enjoyment. Most of my time is consumed by watching things, rewatching things for the sake of making videos. So I was kind of shocked by how little I had to choose from, but at the same time, those videos were good quality, so we've got something cute going on over here. So I want to start by talking about Jenny Nicholson and her channel. I think that I kind of wanted to talk about the Vampire Diaries video, but I realized that the Vampire Diaries video was released in 2021, I believe, so it's a little bit too far back. So I picked a different video, but Jenny, let me tell you, if you haven't seen the Vampire Diaries video, I'm sure you have though. If you haven't, go watch it. I keep rewatching it here and there because I just enjoy it so much. I just love videos about media that I have consumed when I was a teen being dissected by somebody. I mean, obviously, like, that's what I do too, so that's why I enjoy it. But the video that I picked for today is the church play cinematic universe. I'm not even familiar with anything when it comes to churches, especially in North America. Obviously, I'm familiar with, you know, the Eastern European ones, but not the way things work here because I'm not religious. It was very interesting for me to watch, but at the same time, it's just really funny.
Obviously, there are no scene changes, but he still inexplicably recites the entire thing.
Look at him, now back to me, now back at him, now back to me.
That's the joke. Just a man reciting an entire old commercial.
Basically, Jenny watched a bunch of recordings of religious plays that were made for Easter, basically. She made a video talking about it, and it's the funniest thing ever. It's just so fascinating. I believe that it's from this group of people who make those theater productions. I'm pretty sure that they're Canadian, so that was even more interesting to me as a Canadian. It's just one of those videos. I never get tired of her coming up with like topics for videos, because honestly, most of the media that she talks about is not media that I consume, like Star Wars, Avatar, stuff like that. I don't really watch those movies. I mean, I've seen them, but I'm not like a fan, you know? However, I genuinely enjoy all of her videos. A video about creepypasta fanfics and a fanfic about Josh Hutcherson. Girl, if you haven't seen her videos, you gotta. So the first video for this list is the church play cinematic universe. I do wish there was more smaller channels on this list, but I wanted to be honest about which videos I actually watched, and especially videos that I watched more than once. I guess I wasn't really stumbling across a lot of small channels this year. The second one I wanted to talk about is Mics Pretty Little Liars videos.
I'm doing your public service. Slay.
I love PLL, first of all. Second of all, this is kind of a variation on Jenny Nicholson's style, so obviously I was going to like it. However, in Mike's case, it's just a recap. It's not like a review or a more production, writing, analysis kind of thing as Jenny does. So it's a little bit of a different kind of genre of videos. I still find it entertaining because of all the jokes. The humor is like my taste, so I really enjoy it. But I think that a lot of us watched this video, and especially I think it's 3 videos. I believe that all of us watched these videos more than once. It was great company for me while I was working on my Winx video and while I was doing chemo and stuff, so it was a good time, honestly. I really enjoy those videos, and they have to be on the top 10 for me. The next one is from Gooden. Again, I'm so sorry that all of these YouTubers are so big, but like, what can I do, you know? So his video, I took Ninja's Masterclass and it ruined my life. With Drew, I just really enjoy his humor.
The energy drinks in there, that's always fun to look at.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun looking at that fridge.
That fridge is really fun to look at.
I know.
His delivery and everything, so obviously one of the videos was going to be by him, but this one made me laugh out loud so many times that I just had to include this one, you know? The next one is a definitive ranking of Nepotism babies by Casey Aonso. I don't know, babe. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I hope that's right. Mostly because I love ranking videos. I do. I still do. I know that they're so overdone. I get it. I just love it too much to stop watching them, you know? I think it's a great format in general for everybody. But also, I do love making fun of nepotism babies, and
Roberts has given us classics like Wild Child, Scream Queens, Little Italy. Because I would also be in a terrible movie if it meant I could start opposite of a guy I had a massive crush on in the 4th grade.
some of them were cool people and some of them were just trash, and they're so defensive and weird about the fact that they have so many privileges in life. Like, it's fine to at least fucking acknowledge it, you know? Like, don't be a little bitch about it. In any case, I thought that was a really funny video as well. The next one is a video by Tara Mooney. I'm gonna assume that's how to pronounce. And it's a video called Amatonormativity. It's a term that describes the widespread assumption that everyone is better off in an exclusive, romantic, long-term couple relationship, and that everyone is seeking such relationship. I also find that this video is exploring what I find really interesting, and that is kind of like the weirdness of it all in terms of how we make society basically unlivable for people who don't look for a romantic partnership. It's kind of like this assumption that guides our understanding of people, understanding of each other, and it is really weird. I never related to amatonormativity, and I always had a really hard time with it because I genuinely don't get it. As much as I try to be non-judgmental about it, I am judging. Like, the fact that we don't have communities as much as we have like coupling up and stuff like that, especially with individualism being prioritized on such a high level. I just feel like it's a little bit sad the way that we set up our society, that we are expected to only share our lives very closely in terms of actually living together or helping each other with our burdens and stuff like that only when we are in a romantic, and not just romantic but sexual relationship with another person. That is a very interesting topic to me. I especially love that portion of the video that was done by a different creator. I don't remember the name of the channel. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Go and check them out. But I really like that section that discussed Little Women, and especially Joe as a character that kind of is an example of exploring the topics of asexuality or aromantic tendencies or people.
In a world that values romantic love over platonic or familial love, it can be hard to care for people when there's always the possibility that at any moment they might be taken away from you because of a love that society has deemed more important.
And how this film, the way that it was made, gives more of a look at both the author and the character at the same time, which is very interesting. And I also was always waiting for somebody to talk about how Joe is kind of an ace queen, you know? So that was a really great video. I also love the thumbnail. It's a really cute thumbnail. Next is, why are there so many Confederate vampires? This is a very recent video, so I'm a little bit, it's weird to put it in the favorites of the year, but it's mostly because I think that this is a topic that kind of gets glossed over most of the time when we talk about vampires and vampire stories that we consumed as teenagers. I was just waiting for a video like that because I feel like it's just such a trope. Like, why the hell is it how did we end up here? Why is it such a big thing? Why is it so prevalent? So I'm really glad that this video exists. I'm gonna also link all of them in the description. The next one is by also Drew, but Drew Monson. I don't know where he is. I think that he hasn't made a video in a while, but this year I really enjoyed watching his videos on his second channel, where he just kind of doesn't really edit it that much. I think that sometimes he edits it, but most of the time he doesn't. And he's an entertaining person. He kind of is making observational, I guess, comedy the way that a lot of commentary channels do. However, the commentary channels are relying too heavily on media and objects, specific media and specific objects in their videos that they discuss and kind of criticize to guide the structure of their videos, whereas with Drew it's kind of more driven by what he wants to talk about without there being a different source that he's talking about. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I really enjoyed watching those videos, and one of them that I enjoyed was about him quitting smoking. It was an interesting video. And the second one, the one that I actually decided to put in this list, was I lied about Zendaya and Tom Holland and went viral. I did see it unfold on Twitter, so it was really interesting that people believed him and how it came about. It's just fun video, you know. Another video, I guess it's not even the video, it's more of a channel, like overall. I love watching unboxings for the sake of ASMR part of it all. Because the thing is, I really love paper sounds, I really love magazine sounds and stuff like that, but I really hate watching ASMR that's about that or that uses paper and stuff like that, because the way they do it is they just kind of like crinkle it next to the mic and they keep on, like, I don't know, it's just so unnatural to compare to like when someone just does a thing, you know, and it's natural sounds of the paper or whatever. They're not trying to make those sounds, it's just they happen. So I usually watch this channel called Shawolzenl. I'll write it on the screen. And I don't know most of the artists that she unboxes or something like that. I am not watching it for the unboxing quality. I'm watching it just because it's so calming and it's like a really good background noise, you know. And there's another channel that's called Artist Card Unboxing, which is, I think it's probably like a store or something like that, they started making unboxings so people can see what's in the album that they're purchasing. And what I love about it is that usually they all play music, and I absolutely hate that. This one doesn't play music at all. They just flip through the shit and that's it. And I love that. It's such a good background noise for working, because I can't listen to music when I'm working because I get distracted. But this is some good shit. Number 9 is Finally Uncovering the Mystery of Bella Goth's Disappearance by Plumbella. Her editing again is my taste in humor, so I'm very much enjoying it. The Sims 2 on console, I think. It's the one that's more like narratively driven rather than like an open world kind of thing, or not open world but open life simulation kind of stuff. Really interesting to see how much edgier Sims used to be.
If the woman you love is always nearby but never seems to notice you, stop stalking her. You know what? Yeah.
And the last video I'm gonna mention is Unnecessarily Thorough Deep Dive into Winx Club. Yeah, I am going to put myself on that list because to me that was a very important video for my channel, for me, because I was doing it. It was my sole purpose in life while I was doing chemo, and it will always have that special place in my heart that I could still manage to like dress up and film a portion of the video in like dressed as Stella or Bloom or whatever, like at the end of the 2 weeks in between chemo treatments, where I would start feeling a little bit better after injections that like stimulate your bone marrow or whatever. It will always be that video for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was also the first deep dive I made that had that name, Unnecessarily Thorough Deep Dive into blank. I've made one before, which was Sailor Moon one, but I did not name it that back then. Now I went back and I renamed it because this is like a series on my channel now. I kind of thought that the way that I was, you know, reviewing it, which is not about, you know, talking about what happens in the show as much as it is about all aspects of the show, and it's like a review rather than just a conversation about it. I realized that it is unnecessarily thorough and it's just ridiculous because it is a kids show, you know. So I decided that I will name things like that Unnecessarily Thorough deep dives into different types of media, and I really enjoy making those videos even though they take a really long time to make. And this one is always going to be that bitch for me. I'm just really glad that I got to do that. I got to rediscover things from my childhood and kind of reminisce about these things and reminisce about the time before I had all these problems, cancer included. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on the Bratz video. It is...
I did it! Hot!
a lot of work. I think I'm going to release a video like afterwards, which is going to be a behind the scenes kind of video, because I want to show you how I make the deep dives or whatever, because people have been asking about that, about making a video like that, so I'm thinking that I might do it with this one. There's a lot of work to do, girl. So much. Thank you to my patrons. I'm thinking about maybe closing down my Patreon. I'm not entirely sure yet, because I'm having a really hard time keeping up with all the work. I haven't been filming podcasts and the deep dive and the regular videos, plus this extra video on Patreon is a lot and I think that I need to like figure out what I'm gonna do with that. Let me know if you have any ideas as to how I could share the other videos, if you want me to share them in terms of you still having access to them. If you want to see a bunch of memes and stuff like that from Bratz, go follow me on Twitter or on Instagram.
Times are hard, world's on the brink. Don't wanna protest, don't wanna cause a stink. Just wanna escape and not have time to think. I like to check out all the chicks watch him walk.
On Twitter, I actually post a lot of clips that I screen record because this show is absolutely insane. It is. I did not expect it to be this crazy. Really funny though. The ultimate camp experience. It's so camp. If you like absurdism, you're probably gonna like it. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon with another video. I'm coming with a video on Vogue covers because I've got a few things to say. Bye.